We have some developing news at this hour. A federal court hearing is just getting underway to decide whether President Donald Trump overstepped his authority as commander-in-chief by sending the National Guard troops to Los Angeles in response to those protests over immigration raids. KRON 4's Teresa Stasio joins us now from our newsroom with the very latest.
Well, hi, Justine. The hearing before the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals happening here in San Francisco. A three-judge panel will determine which political leader has the authority to control the National Guard. Now, last Thursday, a federal judge ruled the president's actions of deploying National Guard troops, despite objections from Governor Newsom, was illegal, that it exceeded his statutory authority. Now, Judge Charles Breyer ruled that the Trump administration had to relinquish control of troops back to the state. The Trump administration immediately appealed that ruling on Thursday, which brings us to this pivotal moment. The Trump administration has stated that the National Guard troops were necessary to calm the peace in Los Angeles. Governor Newsom has argued they made matters worse, inflaming tensions and violating First Amendment right to peacefully protest. We spoke with constitutional law professor Roy Little and political expert Michael Yockey about what is important at this moment in time.
It's very important to recognize what an important historical moment we are at. The idea that a president can order combat troops into civilian life in reaction to First Amendment protests, when the governor of the state has refused that aid, when the local authorities say we don't need that aid and we're doing just fine.
Interesting juxtaposition between a traditionally broader role for the federal government, which has always been associated with Democrats, and a limited role by Republicans, with the sides flipped right here. Here you have the governor of California arguing that the president exceeded his authority in invoking the Insurrection Act.
And this is a live look at the hearing. The panel's eventual ruling is likely to reverberate around the country, setting a precedent for presidential power to deploy military personnel amid protests. In the short term, it is about who controls the National Guard. And of course, we also know that what happens before this three-judge panel might ultimately land up in the United States Supreme Court. Also, it is important to note that Governor Newsom's legal team has argued in court that violence won't be allowed, and more than 500 protesters have been arrested for breaking the law. Again, this is a very interesting moment in time, and Justine, we're going to be following this closely with updates throughout the day. In the newsroom, Teresa Stasio, back to you.
Teresa, thank you.